Hello, ladies. I'm so excited to be here again, and I'm here with my girls. Okay, so this is another episode of a True Talk series, and I was just thinking, I was thinking about my life, and I was thinking about I see lots of women around, and I realized that a lot of women, they're just focused on getting married, having children, and some of them are even stuck in routine jobs. They are kind of unhappy. So I just realized that many people are just about, you know, living, just living. Sorry, just existing and not living. They are more like, let's just survive and all. But I feel that there's more. There's actually more to, to this life. There's actually more to this life. What do you think, Simo?
Well, you are very correct. There's a whole lot more to life. And it's important that as women in general, we are not just existing for being a wife, for being a
Yeah.
mother. I was having this conversation with someone, and one of the things that came to mind was that if you spend the whole of your life just being a wife and a mother, is it that you forgot what you were from the very beginning? Before you got married,
Absolutely.
you were someone. Before
Yeah.
you became a mother, you were someone. How are you holding on to that purpose and becoming valuable to your world, to your community? You have a huge point there. But how do we even go from existing to living? How exactly do we do that?
So I think when you start from who you are, you have to first understand the fact that you're a human being, and you can take it back to when before you got married and you were single,
Yeah.
and you had all these desires, you had passion, you needed to do a lot of things, you had a lot of things on your plate, and then all of a sudden you're married, career comes in, everything is just lost. So you need to go back to where you were before you now became who you are now.
Right now.
So you have to
Yeah.
understand that you need to move back there. I remember when I was young, I used to like writing. I love writing things.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
You get married and
I can't
start
remember
having
all those
babies
things
and
again.
all those
But
things
I
are
can
gone.
still
Yeah.
ignite that passion that I had, and bring it back. But
Yeah.
it's all about you first getting back to where you were before in your present situation.
Yeah. Flourish.
I want to hear what she has to say. But what makes women? Let's take a look at women. What makes women get into marriage and motherhood and forget that they have value and worth and
They have a
impact?
life of their own. Absolutely. I was actually thinking because I'm actually an advocate in this area. I actually advocate for living life on purpose because there is no reason why anyone should live life aimlessly. Like Talk said, people go through the motions. You go to work, you have your 9 to 5, you have a routine that takes the whole of your thinking, your
Exactly.
thoughts, and you can actually find that time to reflect, like Flaky said, reflect
Yeah.
and think back. Think back to who you were. Think back to what you're doing. Actually be in the present right now. And then, look at those things that make you happy,
Absolutely.
make you. But you cannot because you're stuck going through the motions. There is no time to sit back to think. So I think we should actually really be looking at, if women had the opportunity, like if you had all the money, you didn't have to work, you didn't
Yeah.
have to do anything, what would you do? Who would you like to become if you want to start living?
That's a big question.
Yeah. Talking about, just to add to what Flourishing is saying, for me, I feel that every woman has a purpose on earth. You are expected to do more than just having children. That's why you see some girls, because they're not married, they are just like, I just want to get married. I just
They
want to
see
get married.
like an
And I'm
accomplishment.
just looking at them and I'm wondering, what is it about this marriage? Do you understand? And okay, then after I get married, then what? I have engaged a lot of women that even in the marriage, they are quite unhappy and all that. And then, they are stuck, because one thing about getting even married to the wrong person because you are trying to get that MRS in quotes is that sometimes you may not even be able to fulfill purpose and destiny, because sometimes these men, when you marry wrong, In fact, your life is going in the wrong direction. And the truth is that every woman, for me, I don't want a situation where the only person that will remember me are my children and my grandchildren and great grandchildren if I'm lucky. I want a situation where
very scary.
after I am gone, I still my when they mention my name, they can tell that, oh, she impacted this, she did that. I believe that every woman should live a life of purpose where it is not just about earning a living, it's not just about surviving, it's about making
Yeah.
impact for generations to
To
come.
come. Now that
Yeah.
brings me to the bigger question. How then can women find a way to be valuable, to live a life of impact? You can pursue the dream of becoming a wife or becoming a mother, but how do you live that life of purpose and still be able to make an impact? What are those things that, I mean, women who are watching right now, I'm sure they're asking themselves, okay, now I'm married, I have children, what more can I do to feel fulfilled?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ladies, I mean, what
Yeah.
more can
This
you do?
this is a practical thing for every woman. I'm sure if you take, like statistics of maybe a few women, we all have this. I don't want to call it wishful thinking. Like Talk said, we must all try to leave a legacy, a flourishing one for that matter. Leave a legacy that people can say, oh, yes, you impacted lives and all. But is it not wishful thinking? What exactly are we to do? For example, I try, daily, everybody knows, on accountability, I try to track my life, measure my life and see, I sit back, I buy time for myself.
Okay.
I make sure that even though the husband, requires some time off me, the children require time off me, other roles and responsibilities I have as a colleague, as a business owner, and all of that, take time off me. But I am conscious about the fact that I have to step back part time to take out time for myself.
Yes,
Then go on that tracking table and say, okay, we want to leave a legacy behind. How
Yeah.
do we do this? How can I start impacting? Like Talks has an NGO that she does.
Yeah.
Okay, how can I start from like a little cover? For every money I earn in my business, how much percentage, maybe 5%, will go to charity part time?
That
That
brings
is,
it to volunteering.
Yeah.
Put
I was gonna
yourself
say
out
that.
there
Yeah.
to be of help. I want to add number 2 to that. I would say that every woman should make it a habit. Everywhere you go to and everyone you meet, leave that place or that person better than how you met them.
Yeah.
Whether it's in
Absolutely.
your words, in your
Yeah.
actions, in your expressions. Don't just go to places and leave there with the same aura.
Absolutely.
Leave there and let people say, when I met this lady,
Absolutely.
something changed,
Yeah.
something shifted, something
Yeah.
I felt different.
Yeah.
That should be our goal as women. Whether it's talking to women of your peers, whether it's a younger group of people, leave the place better
Yeah.
than you left
Yes,
it.
I mean, I think that's just a very simple way to put it, and it's something that we can always put in our subconscious. But another thing I think that every woman should also be able to do is you have to look at two things. What makes you happy? What makes you fulfilled?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even know what makes you happy. So you
Yeah.
have to be intentional about the things you do.
Yeah.
You have to take time to do specific things and identify those things that makes you happy. And then you will not intentionally do it, because you'll find out that sometimes your purpose can be from a purpose of pain.
Yeah.
You could
Your
have
pain
gone
can
through
be turned to
exactly to
purpose.
purpose.
Yeah.
You could have gone through a challenge, and then you're now trying to help other people, and that gives you joy.
Absolutely.
So the first thing
Yeah.
is find what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy, do it intentionally on a daily basis. Take that time and do it,
Yeah.
because that's all part of making your life to be fulfilled.
Let me drop this right here. Sorry.
It feels good.
let me drop this. There's a young lady that I'm coaching right now. Her husband is doing very well financially. In fact, she's driving the best of cars. She has all the money. He asked her to resign. She was a banker. He asked her to resign. She wasn't so happy about resigning and all that, just to take care of the children. And but I just found out that when we were talking, she's just so unhappy. It's not. It has to do much more. It's
not about even the
it's
cash.
exactly. It's not about the money. Her children, they are doing well. She's a great wife, but she feels that there's so much more that she needs to do and all that. So I engaged her, and then I found out that she loved to cook. She's very creative and all that. And then she started. We talked about it. We started a coaching program together, and then now she has started her own, like she calls it Barbie Cooks. So it's just the food she cooks in her house: breakfast, lunch, dinner. She puts them on IG. puts the recipes, she put the recipes, and guess what? She's impacting lives all around the world.
Ladies, one of the things that scares me about this issue is the fact that a lot of women are losing their worth, their purpose, their value, their happiness to just existing. Some are existing just because I just want to be married. And the moment they get married, everything that matters to them is gone. For others, I just want to be popular. I just want to be successful. I want to have my bank account blowing green all the time. And then they lose the purpose. How then do we help women realize that there is marriage, there's been successful, and there is you? How do we take them back to what matters?
Yeah.
What women don't realize is that no matter what way we look at it, time is ticking.
Absolutely.
Whether we know it or not, time is ticking. For every woman out there that is listening to us right now, when do you want to start leaving? Enough of excuses. I'm not leaving because, start, something around what you have passion in. Start something around what interests you. Start something around legacy, around how to impact the life of people. Touch somebody's life, even if it will mean that it has to be something of inconvenience for you. But because you have to account to your creator at the end of time, you will start living on purpose. You'll be conscious of that.
Very true.
And I think that for women, you don't need to do anything big. Because when you say purpose, a lot of people always feel, it's something big.
Yeah.
It's
It has
something,
to be
even if
God
it's bad,
driven.
it doesn't have to be. Sometimes it's just holding the hand of your neighbor,
person.
the next woman to you, helping that person.
Yeah.
Do you have challenges in your career? Do you have challenges in your business? How can I help you? What can I do? It could just be because everybody has a weakness and somebody has a strength. It's all about you complementing each other. So you don't need to have a big purpose. You don't have to add value in a big way. It could just be 1-2 people around you and then taking them, holding them by the hand and supporting them in the areas that they need help with, whether it's in their marriage, in their finances, in their, anything that has to do with them being a better person that they're supposed to be.
Yeah, and talking about marriage, it's very important for singles to be careful in picking a partner. I'd mentioned it earlier. I'd mentioned it earlier in the show. It's very important because I tell you, there are some people that it's that marriage that either makes or breaks them. Men, for me, are like gardeners. There are some women too that are gardeners. I tell my mentees, I talk to them a lot about this thing. I'm like, be careful who you marry. Because, for example, now I love Fela a lot. And he calls himself a gardener. And I tell you that I'm not sure Tara would be who she is today if not for Fela.
That's true.
That's the truth. If she had married somebody else, it probably would have turned out maybe differently. Or maybe a better gardener than Fela. I don't know. But so it's very key. And then you find out that some people get married and then the man kills them, murders them.
That's
You
why
know,
we
so
have to be
so
intentional.
it's for me, it's a major decision. Marriage. So it's not something you have to rush into. And it's very clear. I would like to just drop this here. Know that having that tag MRS does not make you.
It's not the ultimate goal.
It doesn't make you.
absolutely.
It's not what makes you
Yeah.
a woman. It's not. It's not. That's not what's going to make you fulfill purpose.
That's true.
And also, that's just very key. I needed to drop that.
I really appreciate that. Calling our attention and, of course, calling the attention of women to that area. To wrap this whole point up, I want to say every woman, one of the ways you can actually live and not just exist is to stand up for yourself. Whether it's at your workplace, your relationship, even to yourself. A lot of women struggle with toxic behaviors that they have and they don't know how to even break it. And those are the things that are standing between who you are and who you want to be. Well, ladies, we don't get to wrap up this episode without letting you know that we have amazing giveaways for every woman out there who is seeking to find purpose, direction, whether it's in her life or her career. Well, guess what? We have a free giveaway session on life and career career for women. And this is from our very dear, I can't say thank you enough to this amazing woman, Flora Omosevwerha. I hope I didn't murder that name. Please, my apologies. But this woman is amazing. When I say amazing, she knows how to get the poppers out of you and take you from where you are to where you want to be. A fantastic moment on the show. We thank you to the ladies for ensuring that every woman there is impacted, is valuable, and she knows her worth.
To get the giveaway she just mentioned, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and drop a comment on our Instagram page. And we're going to pick 3 lucky winners. So as we go today, remember, live
and don't just exist.